They traded your genuine loyalty for a mirror that only reflects their flaws. And they truly believed they had made the smartest choice because the world around them taught them to chase what looks good instead of what feels real. So they walked away from the one person who stood beside them with honesty and care, never stopping to think that real loyalty is one of the rarest things a person can ever receive in this life. At first, everything seemed fine for them because people clapped for their image, praised their confidence, and smiled at the version of themselves they showed to the world. But deep inside, there was already a crack forming because no person can build a peaceful life on false connections without eventually feeling the emptiness hiding underneath it. The people around them only loved the performance because those kinds of people stay close to what entertains them, benefits them, or feeds their ego, but they disappear the moment struggle enters the room, and that lesson always arrives later than expected because fake loyalty is loud in public while real loyalty stays quiet and steady even during difficult times. Your presence once gave them peace in ways they did not fully understand because you never needed attention to prove your worth, and you never forced your value into the room, yet your honesty protected them from many things they were too blind to notice while they were busy chasing approval from people who only cared about appearances. One day, the noise around them will begin to fade, and the excitement they once used to distract themselves will stop working because every person eventually reaches a moment where silence becomes impossible to escape, and that silence has a way of exposing truths people spent years trying to avoid. Memories of you will return to them without warning during moments when they least expect it because truth often arrives quietly, and they will suddenly remember how safe it felt to be around someone who did not compete with them, manipulate them, or secretly celebrate their mistakes behind closed doors. Regret will enter slowly into their mind because they will finally understand that people like you do not appear often in life, and they will realize they traded something real for temporary comfort, shallow praise, and relationships built on pretending instead of trust. The mirror they chose will continue showing them the same painful reflection every single day because every false person around them will force them to keep acting, performing, or hiding who they truly are. And after enough time, even strong people become exhausted from carrying a mask they were never meant to carry. Nothing will feel fully peaceful anymore because the restless heart cannot find comfort in fake connection, and even moments that should feel joyful will carry a strange emptiness behind them, since deep inside they will know they walked away from someone whose loyalty was honest and rare. Life has a quiet way of teaching painful lessons without warning because people who betray sincerity often believe they escaped the consequences of their choices, but time slowly places them in situations where they experience the same disappointment they once caused others, and that is when understanding finally begins to grow inside them. The same people they trusted will slowly reveal selfish intentions because shallow loyalty always falls apart under pressure, and the same voices that once encouraged them will become silent when problems become difficult, leaving them confused about why nobody around them feels genuine anymore. During lonely nights, they will begin replaying old moments in their head because that realization will hurt more deeply than anger ever could, because they will finally understand that they did not lose someone ordinary when they lost you, and they will see that something many people search for their whole lives without finding it. Meanwhile, your spirit will begin growing stronger because pain has a way of sharpening wise people instead of destroying them, and the confusion you once carried will slowly disappear as peace replaces the need to understand by people who were never willing to value sincerity in the first place. You will no longer feel the need to, because time eventually reveals what words cannot, and your silence will begin speaking louder than any argument could ever, and the truth unfolds naturally in front of them without revenge, bitterness, or chaos. They will start noticing that the people surrounding them only reflect insecurity, pride, jealousy, and fear, because the mirror they chose was never designed to help them grow. And instead of guiding them toward peace, it trapped them inside endless circles of pretending and emotional exhaustion. No amount of success, attention, or praise will fully silence the emptiness growing inside them, because external validation cannot heal a person who abandoned genuine connection. And eventually, they will understand that loyalty cannot be replaced by popularity, no matter how hard someone tries. The hardest truth they will face is realizing that you truly cared for them, while many others only cared about how they could gain from them. And once that understanding becomes clear, they will finally see how badly they misjudged the person who stood beside them with honest intentions. Will not happen loudly all at once, but quietly over time, as disappointment slowly replaces excitement, trust slowly disappears from their relationships, and the emptiness inside them grows too large to ignore anymore. Your peace will continue growing while their confusion continues deepening, because truth always separates people over time, and those who protect honesty eventually. Some lessons arrive too late to undo the damage, because certain choices permanently change relationships, and although regret can teach wisdom, it cannot always restore what pride destroyed when the opportunity to protect something meaningful was still within reach. That is why their downfall will gain clarity, while those who betray it eventually become trapped inside the consequences of their own choices. Nothing in this world remains hidden forever, because life reveals intention sooner or later, and the same truth they once ignored will eventually stand directly in front of them without mercy, forcing them to finally see what they lost when they traded genuine loyalty for a mirror that only reflects their flaws.